What's good, everyone, and welcome back to the Water Boys channel, as I am here to recap the crazy action that happened in Sunday's NFL playoff divisional rounds. Both games were intense, both games were fun, and both games were down to the wire, and we're going to go right into it. Before we dive into any of that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, as it does help us out so greatly, and I appreciate everyone who has been checking out the channel. But without further ado, let's dive right in. The earlier game on Sunday, which featured the Rams going into Tampa Bay, taking the big upset, and the Bucs, they will not defend the title no more. And there is going to be a lot of off-season speculation now with Tom Brady and whether or not he's going to be coming back next year or if he's going to be retiring. Personally, I don't know yet, but there was reports saying that he is really thinking about it and he is considering everything, which this is the most we've heard about retirement, even though it's early. But usually he's like, I'm back, I'm ready to go, let's do it again, let's have fun, let's try to get back to where we belong. But he is getting older. They say father time always be taken to have a time, but Brady still did his thing this year. Led the league in passing. For his age, that's really crazy to do. Touchdowns were high up there. I think that was top 3 in the league as well. Interceptions, they were a little bit higher as well, but still not too high as well. I think he had like 12, which is also really good as well, because that's what a lot of quarterbacks are averaging nowadays, because it's a passing league. So you got to give and take here and there. But we'll have to see, and I'll create a video and see what I feel Tom Brady will be doing this offseason. But let's dive into this game, because this was a huge win for the Rams, and they came out fast and furious, and they just pounced on this team. And when I mean pounced, they early, 27-3 in midway through the third quarter. And you can never count the GOAT out. He did it in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. He was probably having that speech, be like, hey, I know you guys haven't been here before, but I've been down like this. I want a huge game. We can do this. And the fact that he tied this game up and almost took it to overtime, but Matthew Stafford, I got to blame most of the Bucs D. I know I'm skipping a lot of factors in this game, but man, the ones that just hit my head is like, Bucs, why do you leave Winfield stranded? Cooper Kupp, the Triple Crown guy, led the league in everything this year, and you leave him running by himself hoping a safety gonna stop that? Come on now. You gotta know better. That's the last guy. I know OBJ's having an amazing playoffs, amazing stint with the Rams so far, but I would even test that more than I would test Cooper Kupp. And you guys just let him run, and that was crazy. And he balled out, Stafford balled out, and that's legit what sealed the game. It was kind of like the last sequence with the Chiefs as well. It was a quick, bam, 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 field goal, let's go home. That's all she wrote. Because when Tom Brady got them in position and then tied the game as well, you're like, oh, this is why he's the GOAT. This is why you can never count him out. We really about to see him win a Super Bowl again and hosting up another Lombardi. And then Stafford, he's like, man, I'm liking this little playoff run I'm having here. Never got a good taste of it. Now I have it. He didn't want to let go. And, man, him and Kupp got an amazing connection. That team, that chemistry. And one thing you got to take completely away from this game as well is that defense was battering and hammering Brady to the ground all game. Even busted that lip. He was angry about it, but, hey, it is what it is. I seen him yelling with the refs, but hey, sometimes they on your side, or with you a lot of times they are, but it didn't happen, and sometimes they aren't. And that defense, that's what you need to do to Brady. He gets the ball out extremely quickly, and if you can disrupt that timing, it's going to make a long day for Brady. It doesn't happen frequently, but when you do it, he will struggle. And a lot of teams in the last 20-plus years have struggled with it, and some are really good. Rams found a way to be good, and that's because they got a great D-line and a great secondary as well. I'm also going to dive into the Niners and Rams later this week, because we going for the triple-header match with them. They've already duked it out. I think the Niners already beat them twice this year. So the Rams, this is their time to shine. To try to take a big W when it matters the most. And, man, this is going to be an interesting game. I know it's divisional. I know a lot of people they like to see a newer matchup in the playoffs and all that. But this is a great matchup that's going to happen as well. And the Bucs, I got to give credit where it's due, because, man, if this was Brady's last run, even though it didn't end in a Super Bowl, like what he did was very impressive this year as well too. I took the Rams to win this game because the fact that the Bucks were in it, but you guys got to realize how depleted this Bucks team was. Like, injured on both sides of the ball. O-line was hurt. Receivers were hurt. Running backs were hurt. They were missing a whole secondary for the remainder of the year. I mean, this team was hurt completely. And the fact they made it to the divisional round just shows you the type of talent and maturity Brady brings to this team and could bring to any team in the league. So the fact he kept them in the game is remarkable. But the Rams, it was their time. They took over the game, and it was a crazy game to watch. And if you thought that was crazy, if you ain't ready for this, you might as well go check out my instant reaction. I got to plug it because I covered the Bills and the Chiefs, and this game was more wild than that game. We actually had all 4 games divisional round go straight to the wire. Last play decided the game, and I don't know if my heart stopped yet. Like, this thing just keep pumping and pumping and pumping and going. What I witnessed last night was nothing that I probably will ever see again in my life. Like I mentioned in my instant reaction, this lived to the billing. This lived to the hype. We don't get that all the time. Usually when you hear, oh, we're going to get an offensive shootout, both these quarterbacks are remarkable, who's going to stop them, and things like that. And then you get like a, 20-17 game, a 24-21 type of game. And this, yeah, who could stop either of these quarterbacks? Like, that was amazing. I'm not going to go too much into my reactions because you guys will get most of that take in my instant reaction video, so please do go check that out. I'm going to cover a lot of things I've seen today on Twitter, social media, things like that. And one thing that does stand out a lot to me is people say Josh Allen is still better than Patrick Mahomes. And I get it. Like, it's a good argument to have whatsoever. I mean, go for it. Like, it's not an argument to have with me, but hey, they say he played better and all that. And the numbers are, like, clearly almost identical. Like, the thing that is going to stand out, and I don't think Josh Allen can do, and is what I mentioned, is 13, baby. I don't think he would have scored in 13 seconds. I don't think any other team in the league, any other quarterback ever, honestly, is scoring in 13 seconds to forcing a field goal. And you could correct me if I'm wrong. You could leave it in the comments and be like, I'm insane whatsoever. I don't care, because he is the only quarterback, and you could be like, it's a fluke. The defense, gave up this and that. They were tired whatsoever. 13 seconds. I get it. They should have kicked it for a touchback whatsoever. They didn't. That's on Buffalo. I mean, you give and take. I mean, who's to say? Casey's special teams is really great. What's to happen if it's a squib? And let's say it hits a player like right at the 35 or 40, and he just dives on that shit and is down right there. Yeah, there might be 9 or 10 seconds, but who's to say they don't run that same play to Hill right there up the middle, and Hill catches for a 20, 25-yard game? That still puts them on the 35, and they're making a field goal. I got to stop doubting this team, and I think a lot of people need to as well, because we're taking for granted of what Mahomes has done this last 4 years, and it's truly remarkable, because if you go to his first playoff run, when it was the Super Bowl run, actually, not the first one. The first one was actually really good as well. But the second one, the Super Bowl run, he was down 24. And then they scored, 7 straight and won 51-31? Come on, that's absurd. Then he was down double digits again to the Titans. And what happened? He come back and win by double digits. Same in the Super Bowl. Do we got time to run Wasp? Hell yeah, we got time to run Wasp. Let's do it again. And that just also shows you the type of mind this kid has and the type of chemistry this whole team has. Because I don't know if a lot of people saw or not, but on that last play to Kelsey where it set up overtime, Kelsey knew what was going to happen. And he said, hey, this guy is playing me soft and he keeps going out. And then you hear right on the line, he said, Kels, do it. And then they do it. Like, come on. Like, everybody could hear that down there, knowing that ball going to Kelsey, and that's it. Like, even me being a victim of the moment, and I think we all do become prisoners of the moment, my bad. I don't know. This kid's special. Like, 4 years, I get it if it was a 1 year. It's like, damn, he hasn't done it again. Usually everyone has that sophomore slump. This was supposed to be his slump year. This was supposed to be the year everybody figured out Kansas City. And what happens? We back in the AFC Championship. Hopefully we could run it back. You know I'm dying for it. It's honestly a remarkable thing to see in my eyes because I want to say last year I did take it for granted. I'm not going to lie. I thought we should be back in the Super Bowl, and we was, and then we got our asses handed to us. And this year, it started off rough. And I'm like, okay, like I got humbled real quickly. I was like, this ain't going to be our year, but let's see what we can do, rebuild. We'll be a playoff team, but I think we'll be out, and it is what it is. And to be in the AFC Championship game again, this feels as sweet as when it did when we played the Niners. I don't know. This year feels different. Like it feels like we haven't won a Super Bowl, and we're back in there, back trying to claim a Lombardi since 50 years ago. That's how this feels to me. I don't know if it feels the same to any other Chiefs fan, but just everything that's happened this year to this team. A lot of people got to remember this team started 3-4. Everyone was counting them out. Mahomes was broken. Hill couldn't play. Kelsey's too old. He finally washed up. And then all these players end up doing those stats that we see year in and year out, and it's remarkable. And just got to take it in, man, because I get it. Josh Allen, he's a stud. I ain't taking anything away from him whatsoever, but nobody is what Mahomes is right now. Nobody's got that clutch gene. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. You can say, oh, he hasn't beaten Brady, and that's true. Brady is like the double GOAT, the all-time GOAT. But if you had to like put it like get Brady being Jordan and fucking Mahomes being Kobe, I'll take Kobe like any day of the week because that's that killer instinct this kid has. And I just love you on my team, man. Like, I've watched too many shitty seasons of the Chiefs. I've been a fan since I was born. Got tape, my dad watching on VHS of me cheering Kansas City as a baby. Struggled in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and now we're here. We even had those playoff struggles, and now they're doing their thing, and it's fun to watch. I'm going to give you guys a Bengals and Chiefs preview as well, dive deeper into it. Going to give you that Rams and Niners preview as well. These games were crazy. I do not know if championship weekend is going to live up to what divisional round gave us because it's going to be hard to do, but these games are going to be so fun because Bengals got a lot to fight for as well, man. This was their first playoff run in 31 years. They've had their first playoff win in 31 years. Joe Burrow, I love the dude, man. He is like, he's Joe Cool. Nothing phases the kid. And everyone talks about Herbert Mahomes, Allen Mahomes. Man, you might as well throw Burrow in that conversation. He's going to be here for a while, and this team's just as scary as Buffalo in my eyes. Definitely offensively. KC needs to destroy that line early and often, because if they don't, Burrow going to have a day. We already saw what Chase going to do against us. And, let's dive into the Niners or Rams as well, man. That's going to be a fun one. Niners, they're another team. They started off 3-5. Everybody counted them out. Injury prone, all that. We need to throw Trey Lance in the game, disrespect Jimmy G, and I get it because he ain't the best quarterback. But, man, he going to go out with his last hurrah and try to get this team a Super Bowl. And then Matthew Stafford, the guy, stuck in Detroit for a decade plus almost. And now he get his Super Bowl run. He going to have fun. Probably want to bring Calvin Johnson along too. Like, hey, let's get this ring. They get Von Miller in there as well. This Rams team is built to win a Super Bowl. That's what they did. They traded all these pieces to get it now. That's going to be fun. I'm going to love watching that game. That's going to be a nightcapper. Bengals Chiefs going to be the early game. I'm going to be on it all week for both of these teams. You do not want to miss out. So that means y'all got to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be live. We're going to be hot and it's going to be fire. But please do like this video, you guys. And leave a comment down below on who you think is going to go to the Super Bowl. How you feel about the Bills and Chiefs game? Come on. I know there's a lot of salty Bills fans I got to hear about. Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, raise up. Let me hear what you got to say as well. Also, on the divisional side in the NFC, Packers, what's going on with Aaron Rodgers? Let me know how that NFC is looking for you guys. And with that, I'm checking out. You guys enjoy. Take care.